What's up, comrades? This is MySpace here. So I've been wanting to make this a topic on this video for a while now, and the problem is I just keep on procrastinating on it. I've been wanting to do it for a while. When I say a while, I'm talking about like many months, maybe even a year at least. No, a few years maybe. I just keep on procrastinating on it. I just keep on procrastinating. I forget to do it, and I want to write a script out. And I want to do this and that, and you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm in the mood right now. I'm just gonna say it right now before I forget it, before I, tell myself, oh, I'll do it later. Because if I keep telling myself I'm gonna do it later and it never happens, or it happens, it takes so much longer. So you know what? Screw it. I'm doing it right now, comrades. This is a video about just going back into space. Okay, let's get back into space already. And I'm not talking about the International Space Station, okay? I'm talking about going back to the moon, and I'm talking about going further than the moon. And by further, I mean human beings, not robots. Human beings going to Mars and beyond Mars, okay? Like, it's been decades since we went to the freaking moon, okay? And we still have yet to go back to the moon. What's it going to take for us to get back to the moon? Let's just get back there already, and let's go to Mars. There's been all these ideas and assignments about like Mission Mars 2020, and that was a couple of years ago, and it's almost 2020 now. We got 4 more years left, and there's been little progress from what I understand on that. And that's just private companies. That's private institutions. That's for profit or non for profit. There's space companies like SpaceX and stuff like that. But what about NASA? There's like not that much going on with NASA right now, as far as I know. And same with China and Russia. I don't hear anything about them really. The major, most powerful developed nations can do that if they really want to. I'm talking about like putting people back on the moon, actually having like some kind of moon colony. Like people envisioned or had dreams of back decades ago. What happened? People, what happened to those? What happened to those? Ideas, those dreams, those visions. There's a whole freaking galaxy out there, and there's a whole freaking universe of planets and places to explore and places to go and places to settle and start a whole new life. There was that whole settler mentality, back for hundreds of years and thousands of years, from going back tens of thousands of years of people migrating, emigrating, and going different places. I mean, it still happens today, but why can't we do it? What's stopping us basically from doing it right now? I mean, you can say money, but we have the money to do it. The problem is the money we have, we're spending it in the wrong places. We're spending it in the wrong places. The United States has a huge defense budget, and it seems to have no motivation at all to invest in space technologies, or very little motivation, because they might be investing in some space technologies, but not enough to make a significant impact. Back in the 60s, okay, this is the late 60s when the first moon landing happened, they had computer technology, but it wasn't as powerful as today. I just watched a documentary, it was today, about how this right here, this phone, or the more recent models of this phone, have more computing power in them. This has more computing power. My laptop has more computing power in it than the computers at NASA had, okay? And when I heard that, and I've heard that in past documentaries, when I heard that today, it just reminded me again of my frustration with our current situation, about how we're not on the moon. What made us become so uninterested in wanting to get off this planet, okay? Like, there's so much more to this universe than just this planet and just our little lives and stuff like that. Think of the bigger picture, comrades. Think of the bigger picture. Just think about it, okay? No matter how old you are at this point in time when you're watching this video, just think about the past couple of decades. Think about them. We haven't done much in terms of space exploration, especially human one. Now, we send out the occasional probe and stuff like that. We send out space rovers. You can tell from Mars and stuff like that. And I hope we can get to a point where we can colonize Mars, and then we can actually, preserve those rovers for history for hundreds of years in the future. I've imagined humans settling on Mars and preserving those rovers. But my main point on all this overall without getting too far off topic, is that let's just go back into space already. And you know what I already mean by that. I already explained it. Human exploration, human colonization, and settlements and stuff like that. Because why not? There's a whole galaxy out there, and on top of that one galaxy that has lots of solar systems, there's more galaxies out there. You know, it's just frustrating to me. It really is. It's really frustrating to me how we don't really talk about it. We don't really think about it. We get preoccupied with this other stuff here on Earth. And I didn't write a script, by the way, in case you haven't figured that out already. Which is part of the reason why I keep procrastinating, because I keep holding off on writing some kind of script or something like that. But yeah, I just wanted to get it out there because it just came to my mind recently, and instead of just procrastinating on it like I've done in the past, I just want to get something out there, and I'm gonna do more. I want to do more space related videos. Just trying to get people motivated in the idea of getting off this planet and going into different planets. Because okay, the difference between us and any other animal life that we've known, just us personally as humans, is that we have the possibility of doing that. We don't have to have the same faith as those other animal species that that doomed themselves. They ended up being destroyed, or they went extinct. We don't have to suffer those same fate. We have the ability to not have to suffer that, and I just don't understand why we haven't done more about it. That's my frustration, my main frustration. And again, like how our own laptops and our own phones have almost as much or even more computing power than the computers in the 1960s, and yet back in the 1960s and late 70s, they were not late 70s, early 70s, they were achieving more with the moon landings and stuff like that than we are now, and it frustrates me how we're not even doing that as much anymore. We need to put our focus back into those areas, people. We really do. So that's all I'm going to say. If you have watched this point, thank you for listening to me, and I'm open for discussion. I'm open for commentary. I'm open for some kind of discussion, like I just said. So if you're interested in space exploration, space settlements, and stuff like that, leave a comment in the description. I'll be willing to talk to people about it and make more space videos about it. So yeah, I'm MySpace, folks, and thanks for watching.